What an impressive defensive performance from the Houston Texans to finish off the Buffalo Bills. Moved to 6-5 on the year, courtesy of holding on to a 23-19 victory at NRG Stadium on Thursday Night Football. I'm not tired. You're not tired. If you're in live, get live in the comment section. We'll answer your questions, comments, joys, and concerns. If you're watching this after the fact because you hit the hay early, the comment section's still live for you as well on this video. Lots to get to in this one, including a absolutely incredible defensive performance from the Houston Texans. We'll hear from three of the stars from that defensive performance throughout the course of this one. We will talk about the offense, where they had one of the best quarters of football that they had all year long, and then they followed it up and surrounded it with just a whole bunch of hooey that was not any good. Lots to get to in this one, but ultimately, what more can be said about that defense and how they took care of business, how they handled Josh Allen? And I came into this game thinking, well, Josh Allen, he's not going to have another horrific game against the Houston Texans like he did last year. That's just not the type of player Josh Allen's going to be, and he's coming off of a really good performance last week where he scored 6 touchdowns. Well, you know how many touchdowns Josh Allen has scored in the past 2 games? 6, and all 6 of them were against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because he went over on the touchdowns today because the Texans defense was ready for him. They made things tough in the pass game. After that initial James Cook run, they made things tough in the run game. And then they were chasing him, hunting him is the phrase that they use time and time again. They were hunting him all game long. And it felt to me like when Will Anderson looped around and caught up to him from behind for that tackle, it wasn't even a sack. Anderson just tackled him from behind and he was rolling on the ground. Oh, I felt like from that moment, the gates kind of opened. Okay, the gates to the safari opened, and everybody was hunting Josh Allen at that point. Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, Mario Edwards with half a sack, Tim Settle with a sack, Henry To'o with a sack. They'd combined for 8 sacks in this one. And Kaylin Bullock would take away the ball 3 times. An interception early on, and returned it for a touchdown, but ultimately had that wiped out. Had the fumble, forced fumble that he knocked away, and rookie Jaylen Reed scooped up, and ultimately had the game-sealing interception as well. But this defense, with multiple takeaways, with 8 sacks, with tackles for a loss, with big hits, with bouncing back, there was a lot of bend to this team. But there was only one big break, and that was James Cook at the beginning. And it was a perfectly run play at the perfect time. The Texans just couldn't seal him off. He took it to the house, and I was like, oh, boy, it's going to be a long day. And it was a long day for Josh Allen. And ultimately, DeMeco Ryan's finally gets his defense closing the game out, finishing. He's talked about it time and time again. We got to finish. Be it offense or defense. There have been moments where they have finished a game. They have clearly not scored enough points in that game. And DeMeco Ryan still laments his defense's performance. Still talks about how the defense didn't do enough. The defense did enough tonight. And the defense, in the midst of one hell of a drive by the Bills, that lateral play, incredible. DeMeco Ryan saying after the game, they knew that was in their bag of tricks, and it was perfectly executed, and the Texans did not do the right thing on that play, and it allowed the Bills to get deep into Texans territory, marching down the field. But ultimately only allowing 9 additional yards after that play, forcing an interception to finish it. The defense closed. When they couldn't do it against the Los Angeles Rams, the defense closed today. They couldn't do it against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The defense closed today. And when they couldn't do it last week against the lowly, no good, very bad Tennessee Titans, the defense finished today. And I got to imagine that feels oh so damn good for DeMeco Ryans. And it feels oh so good for all those guys on defense that have basically been asked to be perfect at different times this year. Because when I say the defense didn't finish, we all understand the caveat that most of the time that came with the fact that the offense wasn't doing enough in those games. The offense didn't score enough to beat the Rams. The offense didn't score enough to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The offense didn't score enough against the Tennessee Titans. They finished it off there last week, ultimately. But we understand the caveat that the defense has had some incredible performances, but they haven't finished the way DeMeco Ryan's demanded. And sometimes he demanded that near perfection from them, and they couldn't achieve it. They achieved it tonight. And they did it tonight, and they took care of business. And that has to feel so good to finally be able to pick up not only the offense off the deck, but the special teams. You had to pick them up today too. The defense to take care of business like that. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff by the defense. It's an excellent job by them. And they had a fantastic performance. And within that, DeMeco Ryans deserves a tremendous amount of credit. He has the book on Josh Allen. This is a guy that is the reigning MVP. He played the worst game of his life last year against the Houston Texans, and he came in here red freaking hot. This guy came in off a 6-touchdown performance, one of the best performances of the year. Here comes the MVP award back to Buffalo again. And he came in and he was running for his life in this one. His passing game, there were some really tough moments where he just had nothing to do, nothing to go to. The defense got there. Even some of the throws that he was making, it was tight coverage. He only threw it at Derek Stingley twice in this one, probably because Stingley was bawling out of his mind. They had a lot of sideways stuff. They had to attack Jaylen Reed and some of the linebackers to really move the football. And really, anytime they moved the football, the defense finally had enough on that drive and would bow up and force a field goal, or they'd force a turnover. They only have scored one offensive touchdown in this game. The rest were field goals and the special teams touchdown. They only scored one offensive touchdown in this game. They scored on James Cook's big run that was just a perfectly designed play for the moment. They scored on James Cook's big run, and that was it. They didn't score anymore. They got stuffed on a huge, huge fourth down where they went for it. It was 3rd and short. They got stuffed. They went for it on 4th down. They got stuffed. The defense had Josh Allen's number and DeMeco Ryan's. When Frank Ross's crew won getting it done on that night, when Nick Caley's crew won getting it done over on offense, DeMeco Ryan's guys took care of it and finished off this game. And DeMeco Ryan's, for the second year in a row, had the book on Josh Allen, had it ready for him, ready to bring it to him. And you'll hear it from Will Anderson. You'll hear some of the conversations from the other defenders. They had the perfect mentality this week for Josh Allen. He is excellent, but he can be beaten if you do what you need to do, if you do what you can do. And that's exactly what this defense did. And DeMeco Ryans deserves a ton of credit for not only this game, but my God, this team was 0-3 dead in the water. And then they go out there and they claw back into this thing. They have a couple of opportunities to get to 500. Their starting quarterback gets knocked out. They almost win that game. They win the next 3 with the backup quarterback, and the finale with the backup quarterback before the starter's back from his concussion. The finale, the defense does this and picks up an offense that had one good quarter of football. So great job by DeMeco Ryans. I mean, you could say the chopping wood, the never quit, the relentlessness, whatever it is, but this team could have gone in the crapper a couple of different times, and they haven't. And now they have a winning record, and they are right in the thick of things in the AFC playoff picture. And now they own tiebreakers over 2 potential wildcard teams. They own a tiebreaker over the Buffalo Bills. They own a tiebreaker over the Baltimore Ravens. And if they keep this level of play up and take care of business against the Indianapolis Colts and do some other things, they could own the tiebreaker against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So there's still a lot to accomplish. But through 11 games, to have clawed and scratched and fought and poked the other guys in the eye and whatever they needed to do to get this victory, to get to this level, DeMeco Ryan deserves a tremendous amount of credit. A tremendous amount of credit. I want to get to your comments, your questions, your joys, your concerns. Your super chats will go to the front of the line. Quickly, tell you about sponsors for the show. Sleeper is fantastic. It's daily fantasy. You're putting a couple of stat predictions together. If you win all your predictions, you multiply your money. We came up short with the Nick Chubb more on his rushing yards, but we will get together an entry next week for the game against the Indianapolis Colts. We might even throw one together for a Thanksgiving next week. I'm thankful for everybody who participates with Sleeper. Use that code Stoots, STOOTS. You get a deposit match up to $100. You get a free, no deposit required, $20 entry to play with at our friends at Sleeper. Terms and conditions do apply. Check out the terms and conditions, but use the code Stoots, STOOTS, when you get signed up, my friends at Sleeper. Let's hear from you folks. Let's hear from you. You're up late. You get in on the show here. The super chats will run to the front of the line. Cameron Kilpatrick, he says, Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter must have heard you say you don't know if you could trust them in this game. They were possessed. That's right. When I put the trust list out, I said, I don't know, man. Deion Dawkins is pretty good. And Spencer Brown's pretty good. Big hulking monster over there at right tackle. Didn't matter. Ate them alive. Ate them alive. Ate the backups alive when they came in. It's a great job. Thank you for the super chat, Cameron. BG, good to see you. You're a member of the channel as well. Appreciate that. Let's freaking go. I'm spending the night at Spanky's waiting on everybody. Yeah, do not miss Spanky's tomorrow. Reaction Monday on a Friday. It's going to be, what do the kids say? Lit. Okay, it's going to be a freaking party at Spanky's tomorrow on Bel Air. Arrive at 3. We're live at 4. If you can't get there at 4, that's fine. Get there at 4:30. Get there at 5. We'll be hanging out. We're buying beverages for folks. And we're going to be talking about this fantastic win for the Houston Texans. What's next? We'll be talking about Davis Mills and how good he has been in the 3-0 run here as the backup quarterback. What to expect from C.J. Stroud when he gets back, so on and so forth. Lots to get to at Spanky's, including some fantastic cold drink and some hot pizza, whatever else you might want to add to the equation. So don't miss out. I say tomorrow, it's today, this afternoon. It's already the next day. It's already Friday, November 21st. I'll see you there in what? 13 hours. See you there. BG, appreciate you for the super chat. Sean, special teams TD was illegal. The blockers moved before the returner touched the ball, should have been called. I thought the officials had a pretty rough night. I did appreciate the one official who kind of put the oomph on that final call where he said, pass interference, and then he put a little pause into it, on the offense. And then NRG Stadium went nuts. That was a nice little job by him. But I hadn't seen that, Sean, but I'll take a look at that. And that still doesn't excuse the fact that you still need to be able to hit the guy. British Brooks hit him, but Ray Davis spun off of him, took him to the house, and that was all she wrote on that possession because the special teams just threw up on themselves at that point. So, but yeah, I'll take a look at that. I didn't see it live, but I don't think they mentioned it as much on the broadcast, but I'll take a look at it again. Sean, appreciate you for the super chat. Zachary, late night Stoots, grateful we're in for an exciting stretch of the season. That 4th and 27. Yeah, man, that was tough. That's one of the only plays they could have run in that moment to get that. And DeMeco Ryan's noted after the game that they'd seen that on film from the Bills. They had run that very play before, but they just had too many guys kind of, I mean, it worked perfectly against the defense. I think that's exactly what they expected the defense to do. And ultimately, the defense bowed up and took care of their business after that. But, yeah, it was that was not good. And I got to be honest with you. I thought they were losing after that. I thought they were going to lose after that. Darius Aldridge finally got a signature win, over a good football team. The Bills didn't play well tonight. The Bills had a bad night. Some of it was the Bills just had a bad night. Some of it was the Texans made the Bills have a bad night. But, yeah, finally a signature win. You're right about that. Coach Bojangles, Kaylee pissed himself in the second half. Awful. Coach not to lose. We'll talk about that here in a little bit greater depth. Appreciate you for the super chat, Coach Bojangles. Let's get to some of your comments, your questions, your joys, your concerns. From A to B to N is here. Good to see you. Good to see you, Rick. Good to see Logan in this one. Panda Lead, you're up late. W. Yeah. Jameis Winston. Let's eat him. Let's eat the W. Mustard Paper. Good to see you. Mr. Benjamin. Good to see you. Otherworld Ambience. Victory Formation. Happy I was wrong. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Mustard Paper is going to be at Spanky's tomorrow. Tazewell, you're up late. I was about to go to bed. Well, hang out for a little while. All right, I'll go to sleep to it. Actually, if I put you to sleep, that's probably not good. But what does this win mean for our season? Well, you're in the thick of things in the AFC. You're in the thick of things. If you could do that to the Buffalo Bills, why can't you do that to the Indianapolis Colts? Why can't you do that to the Kansas City Chiefs? If you could do that to the Buffalo Bills, why can't you do that to the Los Angeles Chargers, to the Las Vegas Raiders, to the Arizona Cardinals? Those are your opponents left. If you could do that to the Bills, why can't you do that to them? You got a shot in every one of these games you got left on the schedule. You got 6 left. Okay? You need another 4. You got to get to 10. You need another 4. 5 would be awesome. And obviously, if you win the next 6, you're going to be in a great spot. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Go beat the Colts in Indy. Do to Indy what you just did to Buffalo. Take it on the road. Defense travels. Grizzly, good to see you. Outlaw, appreciate you. Eric, did you tell them let them hang? Defense definitely did. They did let them hang. 8 sacks in this one. Shouldn't you be asleep, Stoots? I'm too excited to freaking sleep, man. I'm too excited. I'm probably going to feel like crap tomorrow until I show up at Spanky's and I feel the energy. Feel like the ultimate warrior tomorrow when I get into to Spanky's. I feel the energy of all the SNL audience. Good to see you, Brandon. Jaylen Reed led the team in tackles. Really good performance from him. He has not played a lot of football for this team. He has not practiced a lot of football for this team, but a really good performance from him. We'll talk about that at some point too. The atmosphere in the stadium was amazing. That thing got loud a bunch of different times. Okay, and the defense benefited from it. It was a good job. It's a good job. Good to see you, Luis. Let's see here. Did I get anybody else? What do we got? Kamika, HOU. I was always a huge Reed believer, severely underdrafted. His projection going in the 3rd round. Then had a mess season last year. It slipped good for us. Yeah, it worked out great for them. Worked out great for them. I liked Jaylen Reed a lot in the draft process. He was a Landry Locker favorite. He was a Cody Stoots favorite, and they ended up with him and came to play, and he was ready, man. He was ready. I lost my voice. I probably won't have much of one. Patty, good to see you. Screwhead TX, good to see you. James, appreciate you. Advic, good to see you. Say, Beerme and SNL's taking care of your first drink at Spanky's later this afternoon. You're damn right. You're damn right. I'll get you a beer. I'll get you a beer. What? I'll get you 2 beers. What? I'll get 3 beers. What? 4 beers. What? Call an Uber. What? 5 beers. What? Texans proved me wrong Thursday night. Left me in tears of joy over that epic win. It's an epic one for sure. For sure. That defense is not human. They looked like a bunch of lions hunting on the Serengeti out there. It was awesome. Who do we want to win between the Chiefs and the Colts? I kind of lean that I want the Chiefs to get closer to you. And you can knock them, you can really knock them if you take care of business in a couple of weeks. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Kudos to the crowd. The crowd did a great job. Brandon, the big hulking monster at right tackle. You mean Trent Big Man Brown? My neighbors are going to hate me, by the way. That's fine. Yeah, Trent Brown, excellent job. Joey Bosa got worked by Trent Brown. Excellent job. Let's drop off some Magic City wings for Trent Brown. Oh, man. You guys are fantastic for showing up and being here in the chat. I'm going to try to get to as many of these as I can. Why do I feel more confident with Mills at the red zone? Well, let's see what CJ can do. Let's see if CJ picks some things up from watching Davis Mills. Do not minimize this win. You definitely shouldn't. You definitely shouldn't. Kaylee coached scared in the second half. He certainly did. He certainly did. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this offense, actually. Let's talk about this offense here. One of the best offensive quarters of football that they've had all season long. And as I'm doing a quick look through here, they scored 17 points against the backup Baltimore Ravens in the second quarter. They scored 20 points, obviously, against the Tennessee Titans in the fourth quarter, but that's the Tennessee Titans. The second quarter, where they scored 17 points, is the best quarter of football they've played on offense the entire year. Okay? They get the ball in the second quarter off of Buffalo going up 9-3. And they march down the field from their own 23. They march down the field, get in the red zone, get down to the 2-yard line, and get stuffed on a run play, and then throw it to Christian Kirk for a touchdown to take the lead. The next drive, they get the interception. They don't do much with it. It was tough. It was a really tough drive. Like Landry acted, he said, it looked like Nick Caley wasn't ready for it. Yeah, it was a tough drive. Ran for -2, threw it for -5. They're way behind the sticks. They settle for the field goal. They're up 13-9. Okay, all of a sudden, they've added to their lead. The ensuing kickoff is a touchdown. 97-yard touchdown return by Ray Davis. And then Davis Mills gets the ball back with 1:35 and all their timeouts. And he goes 75 yards to the hizzy, hitting Jaden Higgins out of the slot for a touchdown, but 17 points on the board in the second quarter. They put 17 points on the board in the second quarter, and they bounced back from one of the plays that was one of the biggest gut punches in the history of this season. When Ray Davis takes that thing 97 to the house after they had just added to their lead and made their lead 4, after they just added their lead, Ray Davis has a touchdown. Davis Mills, in 95 seconds, takes them down the field and scores a touchdown. When they have been pathetic at the end of first half situations, Mills, boop, 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 touchdown. That second quarter, where they started the quarter with their first possession in the quarter with a touchdown, they added the field goal after the interception, and then they put another 7 on the board right before halftime. That was the best quarter of football they've played on offense the entire year when you factor in the stakes, the moments, and the opponent. It's the best quarter of football they've played. They put 3 quarters of football that were really bad around it. They put 3 really bad quarters of football around it. They were awful in the second half. Davis Mills started awful. He was missing throws that Graham Mertz could have come in there cold and made. He was too wide, or he was too off. He threw one, hit a guy in the back. He hit a guy in the back because he underthrew it so much. Mills was off. He got going there in the second quarter, and then in the second half, my God, they played so freaking scared. They started running 2-minute offense to burn clock with 2 quarters left. It was awful. They made a ton of mistakes. They had guys running down the field from the offensive line. It was awful. They had multiple possessions, or they had all those possessions in the second half. All of them but one ended with a punt. Of the possessions where they punted, they got 1 first down. The other possession, they got the ball because of the fumble recovery, and they moved very little, 14 yards. They got 1 first down and then had to kick the field goal. And it's like, you got to do something. And they just put that defense in such a bad spot, such a tough spot. And that offense was awful. They were running into nothing. The offensive line stopped getting a push. They stopped throwing past the sticks. The one time they threw past the sticks, they got a first down, and then they promptly ran the ball, threw it short of the sticks, and punted on the next 3 plays. It's awful. Jaden Higgins got 16 yards on first down in the fourth quarter. And then they ran the ball for no gain. They threw it short to Higgins for 4 yards. They threw it short to Higgins for 4 yards. And then they punted the football. That was awful. They played scared in the second half. They played not to lose. They did not go out there and have a killer instinct on offense. Thank God they have a killer instinct on defense. They did not run the ball well in the second half. They did not get good push on the offensive line. And again, I say it again because I believe it to be the case. They were worried about screwing it up for the defense. Well, you know what you almost did? You almost screwed it up because you couldn't move the football. And you kept putting the defense out there so fast. You kept putting the defense right back out there. It's boom, boom, boom. Defense coming out there after 3 and outs and after 7 plays and a field goal. Like defense right back out there, right back out there. And the defense had a nice long break because they had 1 play. They forced the fumble. Texans kicked the field goal on that ensuing drive. Then it's the kickoff. Then the Texans have the ball. Then it's like the defense was nice and rested from the second quarter. But still, once they just keep going out there, keep going out there, keep going out there, it's like, damn, you got to do something. And the offense gave them nothing. That was awful by Nick Caley. It was a bad job by Davis Mills, a bad job by the offensive line in the second half. They did not do a good enough job. If they had gotten 3 first downs, if they got 3 more first downs in the second half, this game would not have been this close. This game would not have been a nail biter. It would not have been the cardiac Texans again. They couldn't do that. It was awful. They've got to figure that out. And maybe it's just, oh, Buffalo figured this out or that. Sure, I know Buffalo's going to adjust and Buffalo's not going to just get run through. I get that. I understand that. But to have nothing in the second half and nearly piss the game away because of it, that's bad, man. That's bad. They've got to be so much better. They've got to be so much better. We'll hear from Will Anderson here in just a second in the locker room. I want to get some of your some more of your comments. This AFC South show, good to see you, Curtis. Damn straight, this defense is impeccable and getting healthier. Yeah, they Jaylen Reed going to play like that, and you get everybody, you get them staying nice and lined up here. They'd be good. Texans clutched up. Defense has a huge D. Okay, phrasing. I like Jaylen Reed. Seems like they found another defensive gem. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, they know how to draft some defensive backs, man. They know how to draft some defensive backs. Reed wasn't perfect, but I like the moment. Didn't seem too big for him. He got a little bit. Ty Johnson, boy, what a great player he is as a deep on your depth chart running back. Ty Johnson got loose out of there on the backfield. Jaylen Reed was on him and just shoo. So that was a tough one from Reed, but I mean, to lead the team in tackles when you basically haven't played, it's a good job. It's a good job. All right, excuse me for one second. Landry was saying he's paying for everyone's beer. I mean, I don't know what he said, but I'll buy your first one. Say Boogie. Those candy painted helmets plus the unis look pretty solid on TV. They look great in person too, man. They look great in person. I mean, I love the Reds. They're so good. Taze, while I'm off to bed, swarm the like button and subscribe. Yeah, do me a favor. Swarm the like button. Do me another favor. Visit with my friends at TDECU. Go to tdcu.org/Texans. Learn about that TDECU Texans debit card. 15% off at the online team store. Maybe you want to go get you a Will Anderson jersey. Maybe you want to go get you a Danielle Hunter jersey. 15% off the Texans online team store. Plus other fantastic perks. They're a credit union, TDECU, okay? Which means that membership's required. They're insured by the NCUA, but they can do things that other places can't do. They've got tons of different checking account options. They've got savings account options for you. You want to start your kid's college fund, you can do that. You want to think about buying a house, TDECU might be able to help you out with that as well. Tons of things. Your credit union is not just a slogan. They mean it. TDECU is going to take care of you, and they're going to take care of your money, and you're going to have tons of perks and benefits from being a member at TDECU. So check them out, TDECU.org/Texans, or 15 greater Houston area locations where you can walk in and talk to them. Okay? Walk in, talk to them, and chat with them about getting that Texans debit card. You walk out of there, it takes you less than 20 minutes. Get signed up, get squared away. And when they ask how you heard about them, tell them SNL Texans Talk, Cody Stoots, Landry Locker. Told you all about it, TDECU. Appreciate everybody for visiting our sponsors. Appreciate TDECU for sponsoring this video. Dextra, he says 12-5. Let's go in the division. Why not? Nobody says you have to lose any more games. Nobody says you have to lose any more games. Trent Brown was pancaking fools. Ooh, pancakes sound good right now. I might be up for a while. I might go give me some pancakes after this. That 4th and 27 conversion shouldn't have happened. I think you're right about that. That was a tough one. Mills looks like he gives the offense more confidence. Well, let's see how CJ feels coming in there. You know, we can have the CJ versus Mills conversation after we see what CJ brings to the table. But CJ's the starting quarterback. Davis Mills going back to the bench. And then if CJ's not getting it done, we can have the conversation. But Davis Mills played like crap for 3 quarters. He was awesome in the second quarter. We played like crap for 3 quarters. Kaylee progressing? Kaylee regressing. Christian Kirk legacy game, by the way. Hopefully it gets better than that. He dropped a touchdown. Hopefully it gets better than that. All right, we got some great comments, so we'll get to some of those. But I want to take you inside the locker room. Will Anderson after the game, one of the studs of this game. Will Anderson, 2.5 sacks in this game. He's got a sack in 6 straight games. He's got 10.5 on the season. Off the top of your head, do you know how many people have more sacks than Will Anderson? 3. Myles Garrett, Brian Burns, and his teammate Danielle Hunter. Remember when they weren't getting sacks? Will talks about that. He talks about the hunt and so much more. Here's Will Anderson from a victorious Texans locker room after the game. And everybody make sure you can tell me that you can hear this while we play it for you. Here's Will Anderson.
You guys sacked Josh a career high 8 times. Yeah. Can you just talk about the performance of the defensive line overall tonight?
Yeah, first I just want to start off giving all glory to God, man. Just doing kingdom work, man. Just letting him use us to glorify his name. And it's been awesome, the gifts that he's given us, man. And it's so crazy because we do this little talk, and I was going to say this, but I was like, man, you know, early on in the season, we getting a little frustrated with the sacks and everything like that. But I'm like, man, it's starting to open up for us, man. We just got to keep hunting. And I think tonight was just a perfect example of everybody just hunting relentlessly, man, doing whatever it takes. And I think D Hunt hit it on the head when we had our meeting. He was like, bro, empty the tank, leave her crawling off the field. And the energy that he brings to our group and the message that he brings, he's like a silent killer. And we really look up to him because it's like, bro, okay. If D-Hunt said we're going to do it because, bro, we see him do it all the time. But, he was empty the tank, man. And I think we did a really good job with that as a whole team.
I saw after one of his sacks, you acted like a child jumping all over. How much do you enjoy celebrating him in those moments?
Bro, it's huge, bro. I tell these guys all the time, I'm like, bro, I got 5 older sisters. And, when I get a chance to be around y'all guys, it's bro, this is, everything I ever wanted, to have a bunch of older brothers and, to see, them succeed in everything that they do, to, see their hard work paying off. It just makes me happy. I'm being a part of it, so it's awesome.
Can you take us through that play where Allen got away from you at the line, and then you chased him down and took him down for 18 yards?
Yeah. That's just, I think it just goes back to the relentless rush. You know what I'm saying? I think Coach really hit it on the head this week. It's man, whatever it takes to get him down, you're going to miss him one time, but pop back up and get him again. And it's just crazy. When coaches say stuff, you be like, Coach, I don't really think that's going to happen. But then when it actually happened in real life, you be like, okay, Coach is right. So I think the staff did a really good job of just beating that into our heads. Just be relentless with everything that we do this week.
Well, on top of the mentality just of the group.
Yeah.
Earlier this week, you said it's a hunt. They're the Gazelles.
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys actually take that on?
Oh, most definitely. And Coach put up a picture of some wolves and a buffalo, and we just had that energy all week long. Like, man, we got to go hunt. Like, it got to be relentless. Like, no matter what you got going on, no matter how you feeling, bro, it's no weak links out there on the field. Like, if you want a piece of the gazelle, you got to go hunt for the gazelle. So, like, it's just funny, man, seeing everybody scratch for the gazelle, man, but it's fun. It was awesome.
Well, in that sack, you ran over 51 total yards. Did it feel like it? And obviously at the end, you're probably not tired of it, but then Next Gen Analytics said that you had the longest in terms of yardage traveled to get a sack.
I'm confused.
You ran over the field, you were crisscrossing the field, and you were that's how much ground you had to cover to finish that play.
Oh, yeah, I think it's just, man, we talk about getting out the sack all the time in practice and just being relentless up front, and I think we all did a great job of that this week. I don't think it was just a one-man thing. I think the whole D-line, the whole defense did a good job of swarming and everybody getting to the ball, everybody getting to Josh at number 4.
What do you think about the job that Kaylin
When he
did for
gets
you?
desperate, he flirts with greatness when he's desperate. There's something about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's the MVP. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a ton of respect for him. He's a great player. He's MVP for a reason. He can get it done with his feet. He can get it done with his hands. He can get it done down the field. We handing the ball off. So that's what makes him great. And we just tried to neutralize some of those things as a defense to slow him down a little bit.
Is there a mental aspect to that, though, of, like you say, the relentlessness of
Yeah, it's not getting frustrated. It's everybody keep going, everybody keep hunting, man, and doing their job to the best of their ability.
When you guys had a 0-3 hole and you climbed out of it,
Yeah.
how did you do going from that point to where you are now, which is a winning record and playoff contender?
Yeah, it's the culture that Coach DeMeco has set here. You know, we always talk about when things go bad, what we lean on. And I think we lean on our swarm mentality, and that's what I love about this group. It's just because everybody perseveres, everybody's persistent, everybody's still chasing the goal. That's the playoffs, that's the Super Bowl, and we're not losing sight of that. And so that's what type of team we have. We just have a resilient team, and it just keeps showing up week in and week out.
What do you think about the job that Kaylin Bullock did for you guys?
Ball hawk, man, ball hawk. And it's been beautiful to see his growth since he got here, man. And he's back there for a reason. He's tall. He goes up and get the ball. He come down and hit people. He's a complete player, and that's why he's here. And that's why we love him. I can't wait to keep seeing what he does for this defense and where his career goes.
I know every game is
What was the conversation? They convert that fourth and really long. What was the conversation on defense there right after that play?
Man, everybody just calm down and take a breath. Like, we're built for situations like this. And we always say, like, man, like, this is why you come to the NFL. This is why you're in the NFL, for situations like this. So, like, don't panic. Don't freak out. Take a deep breath, man. Rely on your rules and rely on your techniques and get the job done.
To that point, how important was that timeout that DeMeco took in that moment?
Yeah, very important. I think we just go back to being a coach and who he is, man. He's very smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows ball in and out. He knows the game in and out. And that's why he's here. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why we love him as a coach, man, because he embodies everything that a coach should be in. Just smartness, loving his players, what he's about, what his mentality about, and we just feed off of that.
Knowing how grueling this game was, when you get that last interception to seal it, was there a huge sigh of relief?
Oh, a big, because they gonna lie, it's tired up there. I ain't gonna hold you, but it was a big sigh of relief, man. But it's just a bend don't break team, man, and it's just a testament to all the guys in the locker room, man, who put in the work, all OTAs, all training camp, going up to Greenbrier, man. Really up there battling each other up there, man, and then coming back here doing some joint practices, and then of course going against each other every day, and it just shows up on the field all the time. And I just got to give a big shout out to everybody on this team, man, because they worked their butts off to be in the position that we're in now.
Damn, come on now. There we go. Will Anderson, postgame from the locker room. We'll get you some Danielle Hunter, some Kaylin Bullock as well. Your comments, your questions, your joys, your concerns, keep going as well. Mr. Benjamin, would you keep Kaylee or just start clean next season as a fit for the team? I think he's got to see how the rest of the season goes. I'm leaning towards give it a crack with somebody else, though. Vegas hit big on tonight's game. Probably a lot of people on the Bills. Do we have a QB controversy? Not yet. Could, but don't yet. If Davis Mills had gone out there and lit him up, maybe, but not for me. CJ's going to start against the Colts, and he needs to be good sooner rather than later. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I thought Coyote was about to blow an Achilles on that punt return. On the kickoff return, yeah, he was busting his ass trying to go make that play because all the other guys didn't. I can't sleep. This game has me going. I mean, neither. Kaylee just looks deer in the headlights right now. Hopefully he can grow. It's just growing pains, but it's not good. Primetime games have been bad for him, and he looked awful in the second half. Buffalo lost all their DBs, and Kaylee stopped throwing. Yeah, they had a bunch of guys go down with injury. Nick Kaylee quit throwing the ball at them. Stover played terrible tonight. I mean, 2 drop passes, one in the early part, one later on. Stover was awful. He's got to be much better. I mean, they're not going to throw the ball to you a lot. When they do throw it to you, you got to catch the freaking ball. That was terrible. That's terrible. I'm a Stover guy, too. I'm a Stover guy too, but it's hard being a Stover guy. Texas finally broke into the top 3 in the NFL for turnover differential at number 2. Yeah. I think they were hovering around number 4. But they were right around the past 2 seasons turnover differential where they were in the kind of the rankings. We'll get Texans cap to update the toxic differential, which is another fun stat. We'll talk about that on the show here one day. Mills did his job as a backup. He did more than his job. I mean, how many backups are going 3-0 in 3 opportunities? Not very many. Anderson leveling Allen from the back is one of my new favorite Texans hits. That was a huge hit, and it felt like it kind of opened like the pass rush gates for everybody. If he'd gotten that interception, I think the roof would have freaking exploded. Yeah, Will was very close to that interception, but he did bat it down. Almost had that J.J. Watt moment with the pass breakup. Scotty, it's Victory Friday. We got all weekend, baby. Yeah, that is true. You get to celebrate all weekend long, and you know where you should celebrate? Spanky's tomorrow. Okay, I say tomorrow. It's later today. Spanky's. Friday afternoon, Friday, November 21st, Friday afternoon. Arrive at 3, live at 4 for the show. Reaction Monday on a Friday, presented by our friends at TDECU, live from Spanky's. First beer's on me. So, be a good one. It'll be a good one. We want to see you. We want to see you. I'm sure JJ was proud and has penned the notes. He tweeted about Will. Will is a special cat. He is special. Special players make special plays. We've talked about that on the show this week. Hey, Titans, you should hire Nick Haley to be your coach. Come on now. Come on now. James says, I remember the draft process. Will Anderson was billed as a high floor guy, probably a lower ceiling. I think it's safe to say he sailed over the upside, if not for Miles Will Anderson Jr.'s Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, look, we still got 6 games to go here. He can make his case. He can make his case. Still got 6 games to go. He can make his case. But excellent performance from Will Anderson. Let's get you a little Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter, the other half of that fantastic defensive end duo, Danielle Hunter, in the locker room after the game.
I mean, what can you say about your defensive performance tonight as a unit?
I mean, we just stay disciplined the whole game, man. You know, we've been doing it the whole season, learning from our mistakes, just going out there and executing our game plan.
What can you say about the crowd and what they provided for you guys as well tonight?
Man, we knew it was going to be electric. You know, we had the red unis coming out. You know, we already knew, like, the crowd was going to be, they were going to be lit. So we felt it the whole night, and it was a plus for us.
You know, what happens is this builds, and it's 3 sacks and 4, and everybody's hungry, and you guys are encouraging one another. How does this kind of build within this defense?
You know, just keep trying to get more. You know, the momentum goes, and it builds, and it just one person eats off the next. You know, it's just one of those things where you just feel like it just keeps getting better and better, and like you just feel it in the atmosphere.
Apologies, we've been asked before, but Kaylin Bullock's night tonight, clincher as well, is a huge game for him. What do you kind of see from him as he develops into a huge playmaker for you guys?
Oh man, you know, I'm proud of him. You know, he's been making plays all year, and you know, it's only the beginning for this kid, man. He's just gonna keep going, and he's just gonna keep making plays for the defense.
We can sit here and analyze you guys just because it's our job, right? And so, like, tonight's game, does it feel like this game was just massive for you all to be able to get this kind of win against a team like that?
Oh, definitely. You know, every game we play is a massive game, but tonight, you know, it was a big win. You know, Thursday night football, you know, a win we needed, and the team we played together, so it was a big win for us.
What's the conversation during that final defensive drive? They convert that big 4th down. What are you guys saying? What's kind of the conversation as you're getting towards the back end of the game?
I'll just lock in. You know, they don't make plays. You know, just stay calm and just execute the next game plan. That's the biggest thing. You know, just discipline.
To that point, timeouts aren't usually like recognized, but like the timeout that DeMeco called after that, what did that do for you all in that moment?
I mean, I'm glad he called that because I was dead. So, you know, I think it just helped us, you know, calm down, like got our energy back, and then we went out there and we executed the game plan.
That's Danielle Hunter post game. He had a few more things to say, but I thought that was the gist of it there from Danielle Hunter. Really good stuff from him. I mean, him and Will both had, from a sack standpoint, a slow start to the season, but they have consistently put that thing back together. So, what did I just go through? Number 4 and number 5 in the NFL in sacks right now? Yeah, Danielle Hunter at 11, number 4, Will Anderson at 10.5, or Danielle Hunter at 11, number 3, and Will Anderson at 10.5 at 4. So great job by them. And Myles Garrett at 15 through 10 games. What a freak. What a freak. That's one of the reasons those guys aren't winning Defensive Player of the Year. Is Myles Garrett's doing that. A couple of your comments. Then we're going to talk about C.J. Stroud and the quarterback situation. And then we're going to do something fun I like to call the Gauntlet. Okay? Do something fun called the Gauntlet. It's a debut of the Gauntlet. Sunday slate hits a little different after Thursday night win. Sure does. I hope they had someone entertaining mic'd up from this game. A little Togi. I have a little Togi eye. Wouldn't that be nice? For real or GTFOH? Good morning, Cody. Good morning to you, too. You just getting the day started? Rich Boy J, I think we set a franchise high 49 sacks last year. We're at 33 after this game. Do you think we'll break the record? So what, you need 16 in 6 games? Checks in a little over 2. You got to think you got some big game potentials for some big sacks. They're going to get close. They're going to get close. I'm running out of voice, by the way, so we're gonna power through this here. Danielle sent that right tackle flying like 15 yards on a spin move, then jumped over him for another bill for the sack. Yeah, he had some real nice plays in this one. He also helped sideways on some of the sideways stuff that the Bills did. Hunter's a freaking specimen. Dude, you get into acting after football, don't even need to say anything. Just stand there. Brandon, Danielle Hunter in Blade. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Make him one of Blade's buddies or a vampire henchman or something. I know Landry isn't a fan of the Will Anderson trade, but a player like him is generational talent. I would do the trade another first-round pick without a second thought. Yeah, I mean, look, it's days like this is pretty easy to justify it. Pretty easy to justify it. Panda, she's a big Danielle Hunter fan. She's a big Danielle Hunter fan. Hunter as Blade and Will Anderson Jr. as the Terminator be a wild Halloween costume duo. Yeah, they could bring it. They could bring it. All right. Still got to get you Kaylin Bullock, but let's talk about C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud back in versus the Indianapolis Colts. And here's what I would like to see and what I hope to see out of C.J. Stroud. Good right away. You want to see him be good right away. I don't want to say pick up where Mills left off because they had 3 awful quarters of football. But you'd like to see him be confident. You'd like to see him get the ball to Nico Collins. You'd like to see him continue to use Jaden Higgins. You'd like to see him trust this offensive line, which didn't allow a sack today. You'd like to see him trust this offensive line. Don't panic. Don't get the happy feet. And just kind of play with some of the calmness that Davis Mills exhibited in his 3 starts. Mills is a calm dude. Nothing gets him too high or too low. C.J. Stroud gets really high and he gets really low. He could learn something from Davis Mills on that, but you'd like to see it right away. The Colts are no slouch. That's not a bad football team. And that's not an awful defense by any means. But you'd like to see it right away from C.J. Stroud. Go out there against the Indianapolis Colts, look good from the jump, put something together, give the offense a little bit of a boost from this performance. Okay? Give the offense a little bit of a boost from this performance, and hopefully the defense takes care of their business and does what they need to do. Okay? That's what you want to see right away. And if you don't see it, I know somebody's going to be a smart ass in the second quarter or the second half of that Colts game and be like, well, they should put Davis Mills in. CJ's going to get a shot here, and he's going to have a long runway, as he should. He's the franchise quarterback. Okay? But if he does not come in there and through 8, 10, 12 quarters of football, and look, it's not easy the next few games. C.J. Stroud's going to play on the road in Indianapolis. C.J. Stroud's going to play on the road in Kansas City. And then a more dangerous than you think Arizona Cardinals team are going to come to town. But I would think in those 12 quarters, you're going to have plenty. You're going to have plenty to figure out from C.J. Stroud if he needs to keep going and being the quarterback or if you need to go back to Davis Mills. And if you go back to Davis Mills, obviously you've got a quarterback controversy on your hands. But it would have to look pretty bad in those 12 quarters to not keep it there with C.J. Stroud at the quarterback spot. I do not anticipate they'll go back to Davis Mills unless Stroud gets hurt again. I have hope that C.J. Stroud is going to lock down this quarterback job. It may not look great against the Colts. It may take a moment, knock a little bit of the rust off. But Stroud needs to come in and solidify his spot and do it as fast as possible. That's what you hope, and that's what you need out of C.J. Stroud when he gets back in versus the Indianapolis Colts the next time the Houston Texans are on the football field. So that's what I want to see. Big DQ, Mills is super calm. CJ Stroud wears his emotions on the sleeves. Yeah. Stroud still has some growing up to do. Maybe he's accomplished some of that. Maybe he can hide some of that, or maybe he can channel it a little bit better. CJ's young, he'll get there. I think CJ responds, he'll bounce back. CJ freaks out in the pocket, can't be doing that anymore. Hopefully CJ doesn't look depressed anymore and he's just hang in there and realize he has special defense, keep his head up. Knowing that you can trust this defense has got to go a long way for the confidence of the quarterback. Might let you just grip it and rip it a little bit more than he has done. CJ had 300-plus yards in his last full game. I think he'll be fine. I hope you're right. Defense could be called the ministry of pressure. I kind of like that. The offense looks better with Mills, and that's a fact. Let CJ rest and learn from Mills to how to lead the offense. CJ plays next week, plays bad. Everyone will want Mills back in. Sure, but you have to find out about CJ Stroud, and he's the starting quarterback of this team. So when he's healthy, he needs to play. So CJ Stroud's going to come back. CJ Stroud's going to play, and they're going to have to live with the results, and hopefully the results are really good right away. John asks, why would anybody doubting CJ Stroud? He already got in the offense. Thanks, Denver. I do believe they would have beat the Broncos if Stroud had stayed in there. Mr. Benjamin, giving CJ grace because I know he's a star. Allen was really bad. Now he's a star in the league. Takes time to get there. Yeah, I think because CJ set it so high to start, the 2 seasons since then, last season and what he's played so far this season, it hadn't looked as good. It's been tough to kind of manage, but he's got to look good sooner rather than later. For his sake, for the team's sake, for 2025's sake, for 2025 and beyond's sake. Curtis says he was sulking in the post-game video. I'll have to take a look at that. Maybe I'm going to take a look at that while you guys listen to Kaylin Bullock post-game. 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, some really big tackles. Fantastic job by Kaylin Bullock. Here's what he had to say post-game.
Can you take us through the last interception, the last stand, kind of what you guys are thinking after they convert the 4th and 27 come up with that play from the team?
Yeah, we were just thinking, just keep fighting. We're not giving up. The game not over. And our D-line, that was getting to him and made him make that bad decision at the end, the ball right to him.
What about your performance overall? You had 3 huge plays to help the defense win.
It was a great performance. Thank God. You got to go out there Thursday night in front of the whole world and, play a game like that. It can't get no better than that.
You guys have won 3 games in a row. You're above 500 for the first time this season. How do you feel about how y'all are playing overall?
It feels good, Just we keep stacking each day, each week. We try to go out there with the best team every time we step on the field. So we guys just keep improving each week.
You mentioned up front, 8 sacks, man. What is it like as it builds for that group?
Hey, them guys up there, we got the best D-line in the world. Them guys, they come in every single day and they work their butts off. In practice, walkthrough, they just attention with everything they do. Every single last one of them. And them guys went out there and they play ball. They got to the quarterback. We knew they were going to get to him. And them guys just trust us in the back end and be sticky.
Was there any difficulty recovering after they converted the 4th and 27?
It was no difficulty. They made a play, made a good play call, and they executed, and we just kept fighting.
Kaylin, you talked about them throwing the ball right to you on that Aziz interception. You're right there too.
Shout out Aziz.
What allows you to be in position to make those turnovers, be there when the ball is thrown?
Just the play call. It just helped me be around the ball always. Great play call. guys just doing their job and everybody in the spots they need to be in.
Who's the most Jay Reed has been on the field all year? He's involved in a lot of activity on the
very proud of Jay Reed. Jay Reed come in every single day. He worked his butt off, and he went out there today and he played ball. I'm very proud of him. Guy come in, get hurt in camp, and he get his opportunity today, and he showed what he could do.
How would you describe that victory?
It's a great victory. We knew it was going to be a dog fight coming in. Buffalo's a good team, and we knew we was going to have to fight to the end.
Was there anything that Bill showed you was they different than it looked on film?
No different. Josh Allen. He going to make plays. We just got to keep fighting.
They did fight. They fought all the way to the end and took care of business. And as Panda notes, should have had a pick six. Yeah, should have had a pick six. Yes, it was a Jethro Tull t-shirt. Patience with DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud. I'll have him being right so far this season. Closed 7-2 to finish the season. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Last pick, low-key, a stat patter. LOL was going to be a turnover regardless, but I'm happy he got it. Come on now. Don't take the interception away. Don't take the interception away. Okay. This is the first time I'm doing this, all right? This is the first time I'm doing this. Let's see if I can it's called the Gauntlet. All right? I'm going to go through every single player with the exception, I'm not going to go through every single player, but I'm going to go through most of the players, the starters certainly, a couple of key backups. And I'll try to fire off something from them in this game. And I'll try to go through the entire Texans roster here. Let's see if I can get the gauntlet going here. Okay. We haven't even talked about Woody Marks, but we'll get to that here in a second. All right, Davis Mills, excellent second quarter, really bad in the first quarter, really off target. It was a part of the playing scared in the second half. Got to do better, but great job, 3-0 for the Houston Texans. Fantastic job as the backup quarterback. Most backups don't even go 500. He went perfecto in his 3 starts. A fantastic job by him. Woody Marks, he runs so tough. There are some times where it looks like he is stuffed and stopped, and he is not stuffed and stopped. My goodness, what a good job Woody Marks did on some short yardage carries in this one. Nick Chubb, still got a little bit of juice. The offensive line didn't do you any favors. Made the most of his opportunities. Nico Collins, wish you got more, but man, they were focused on you and they just couldn't get the ball to you enough. But I'd still trust Nico Collins with my life in a situation. If he had to catch a ball to save my life, I'd still trust Nico Collins. Jaden Higgins, man, he is coming along. He is a big-time player for this team in the future, and he's a key piece to this offense right now. And it's like a cheat code, putting him in the slot. Put him in the slot a little bit more. Christian Kirk, good job with redemption after you dropped what should have been a touchdown to go out there and catch a touchdown. You also needed to get out of bounds on that one play. You didn't get out of bounds, but you needed to get out of bounds. So make sure you get out of bounds next time. Dalton Schultz, what more can I say about a guy that plays hurt and plays through injury and does a pretty good job? Felt like he slipped off a couple of blocks in this one. But Dalton, tough to be critical of him. He's having a really good season. Xavier Hutchinson almost saved them from screwing up mega. Okay, they were going to run some stupid trick play, and then he cut it back, ran the other way, turned it into a 9-yard game. Fantastic job by him to save Nick Caley's ass in what was a stupid moment to run a stupid trick play. Cade Stover, you got to catch the football. You got to catch the football. I'm a Stover guy. It's hard to be a Stover guy when you drop the only 2 passes that got sent to you. 2 targets, 2 drops, not good enough. Jalen Knoll, I want you to get the football more. They only threw it to you once. They gave you an end around. I want you to get the football more. I don't know how we'll get you the football more. I want you to get the football more. Trent Brown, big fella. Whoo! Take care of your business. And he's been taking care of his business since he got in there. Ed Ingram, couple of nice moments, couple of bad moments. Got to knock the rust off, probably playing with a tough knee situation. Jake Andrews can't get down the field. An eligible man downfield can't do that. Need a little bit more out of that center spot. Titus Howard, solid game. No pressures allowed. Need a little bit more push in the pile. Left tackle, Ariante Ursary, solid game. Didn't feel like he had any leaky moments. got banged up there for at the end of the second half, but was in the second quarter, but was in there in the second half. It's a good job by him. What am I missing on offense here? Did I hit everybody on offense? All right, special teams. Kaimi, good job. Tommy Townsend, good job. Coverage unit, bad job. Very bad job, coverage unit. Very bad job. You need more out of the coverage unit. You've given up 14 points in 3 weeks. That's got to be some of the worst special teams play over the past 3 weeks. You cannot give up 14 points in 3 weeks as a special teams unit. Let's flip it over to defense. Will Anderson, fantastic. Special players make special plays. Sheldon Rankins had a really big play there, stuffing some stuff there in the backfields. Great job by Sheldon Rankins. Tim Settle had a sec. Timmy Time, get him a new watch. Okay, get him a new rollie. Let's see what Timmy Time's going to do with that sack and get him a new watch. Tommy Togiai, hitting the S. He had a huge stuff on third down on one of those plays. He just continues to make plays. Danielle Hunter, what more can you say about Danielle Hunter? He is Mr. Consistency, and he had some big splash moments the past couple of games. 5 sacks in the past 2, adds another 7 in the past 3 for Danielle Hunter. Really good job. Henry Toto, he got in there on a sack, was put in some precarious coverage situations, didn't have a bad tackling game. Good job. EJ Speed had a bad angle on that. Had a bad angle on that James Cook run. You got to do a little bit better on that. Azeez Al-Shire, solid night from him. Tipped the ball up. Kaylin Bullock took care of his business. Derek Stingley, 2 words, 2 targets. Okay, took care of his business. Kamari Lassiter, he was in on a run play. It was a really nice play. He kind of destroyed the fullback, pushed him into the play. That was the big 4th down stop. Good job by Kamari Lassiter from that cornerback spot. Safety, Jaylen Reed. Really great job by you, Jaylen Reed. Come in there. Haven't practiced a lot with this team. Haven't played a lot with this team. Come in there, lead the team in tackles. Got a little bit, but he's a rookie. He's going to learn. He's going to grow, but liked what I saw out of Jaylen Reed. And then Kaylin Bullock, the ball hawk. Fantastic job by him. 2 interceptions and the forced fumble. Really good job. The head coach, DeMeco Ryan's, game ball to you, sir. Your defense did it again, slowing down one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. Nick Caley, don't coach so scared in the second half next game. That's the gauntlet. Something for everybody in the breakdown of this game. What'd you think of the gauntlet? You like it? You don't like it? I don't know. Clamp City, I like that. Brown and Nursery did a good job. Fisher had that 1 snap on the touchdown. It's a good job by him. What a win. Glad you're still grinding. It's a fun time. It's a fun time to talk about this team. We're having a blast. Special teams missing Jamal Hill. Stop it, Rick. Cut it out. Please, NFL, let us do that to Mahomes. Yeah, we probably won't be allowed to do that to Mahomes. Stoots, you the man. Thank you for giving us content this late after we all hyped after the game and can't sleep. Thank you for watching. Thank you for visiting the great sponsors that we've got on the show. Like, I don't know, Texans Turf. Okay, you want turf in your front yard, your backyard. You want a putting green. You want a play area. You want turf at your rental properties. You don't have to worry about yard maintenance. You want turf at your place of business because you don't have to worry about that. Texans Turf can do it for you. Dan the Man can take care of you. No job's too small or too big for Dan the Man at Texans Turf. TexansTurf.com is where you can see the incredible portfolio. See all the fantastic work they've done. You can schedule that free estimate right there on the website. TexansTurf.com is where you can find it. They do a fantastic job. I've been in Landry's backyard. He's got a great setup out there because of Texans Turf, and trying to convince Mama Stoots to do the same in her backyard. She's taking a little bit more convincing, but we'll get Mama Stoots on board with some Texans Turf, I'm sure. So you can check them out, TexansTurf.com. They're fantastic sponsors. This video, Josh Allen tasted that Texans Turf. The Texans, Houston Texans Turf. You can have Texans Turf in your backyard. If you want to lay down like you're imitating Josh Allen after he got sacked, oh no, my arm, you can do it on your wonderful, comfy Texans Turf. Improves the value of your home. Takes away all those weekend chores as well. Appreciate Texans Turf for sponsoring the videos. Reed missed tackle on 4th 27. How do you miss bringing that up? Well, okay, I'm not going to get to every single thing. All right. For real done like the gauntlet. Jeez. Tonight proved our defense wasn't a fluke performance last year against Allen. That's very true. Jason says, excited to see a healthy C.J. Stroud with extra half second to carve up the Colts secondary if we made Josh Allen look like this. Again, imagine what the defense can make Danny Dimes look like. That's my thing. You did this to Josh Allen. You could do it to Daniel Jones. You could do it to Jacoby Brisket. You could do it to whatever the hell the Raiders are running out there. You could do it to Daniel Jones again, and you could probably do it to Mahomes. This is not an excellent Kansas City situation. Bullock already has 9 picks in his career. Man, he might be an all-pro if he keeps it up. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Surprised we stopped Josh Allen. I don't know if you know this. He's had 6 touchdowns in the past 2 weeks. But he had all 6 last week. Damn, I'm drunk right now. So happy they won. Appreciate you checking us out, Lockie. Captain Insano's out of beer. Thought the punter had a good game, pinning them back on the goal line. Punters need love too. Yeah, Tommy Townsend had a really good job. He did a really good job today. Really good job. I think we're justifiably the most pessimistic group of fans for a team that's 6-2 in their last 8 games. Again, justifiably. There's been a lot to criticize in those 8 games. You're right. I got nervous when I saw them put Tremont Smith on return. I also get nervous when Tremont Smith is back there. Remember the fumble from a couple weeks ago? Can't wait to get Petrie back. If they play this way and have him too, whew, yeah, that could be very fun. It'll be very fun. They bring Petrie into the equation. That could be nice. Okay. That's going to do it for me. I may not have a voice tomorrow. Hopefully I do. We're going to put some tea and some honey and some booze together and get that thing ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow, later today, SNL, live, Spankies. Don't miss it. Today, Friday afternoon, live at 3, live at 4, Spankies. Do not miss it. Do not miss it. Okay? We got hats for sale. You want a Houston football hat? There's a link in the description down below. We got the logo. We got the worded logo. You want a Houston football hat? The link's in the description down below. I'll mail it out to you. And there we go. We in the live streams the same way each and every time. This is my hope for you. This is my charge for you as well. I want you to eat good. I want you to sleep good. I want you to be good. We'll talk Texans again soon. Thanks for staying up late and watching, everybody. Appreciate y'all. You're the best. What a win for the Houston Texans. 6-5. Who knows where they can go from here? We'll be here for the whole journey. And it's going to be a fun one. Just appreciate everybody for stopping by. Good night. Have a fantastic Friday. We'll see you at Spanky's.
All right, I'm done.